This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good day, everyone. I am Steve Szymanski. On behalf of Wealth Foundations Northwest, I'd like to welcome you all to the weekly prepper, getting you ready for the week of July 27th. Just a quick reminder that your trades are yours, not ours. We don't act as advisors in any way, shape, or form. Trading does, in fact, involve risk. And so, yeah, normal schedule this week, and I'm not sure about classes after that. I was thinking about taking this week off. I decided at the very least I'll do the prepper, and I already did a power session this week. I may do a trading lab, but if I do, I'll do it later in the week because it's an FOMC week. So I don't want to put a big lot of big trades on ahead of the Fed this week. Our trades are doing great, and we're hanging in there despite a kind of a not so great market in July. We're doing pretty great. And if you were to add up all of these, you would have a net total positive $1,505 in our model portfolio. Not trading big, just trading small one Z, two Z kinds of contracts, unless it's a cheaper trade, and we might with gusts up to five. But keeping it very low key with our capital outlay, and yet still stroking a nice profit so far on trades that we have recently closed and trades that we have still open. And I'm really liking this Baidu trade. This Baidu trade is bringing in beautiful cash flow, and I think the others have just perfectly good potential as well. All right, so that is the latest on how things are going. So we've whittled things down a little bit, and that's good. I want to do that. Last week's news of oil and Treasury yields both went higher. This isn't good. Is the Fed getting a little hawkish? They're starting to show signs that maybe that they might be getting to the point where they're a little bit interested in raising rates. And so for a while, for the longest time, not much has been done with rates, and now people are starting to think about actually that the Fed might actually increase the rates. If you look at the CME tool, nobody really knows because Warsh is much more close to the vest than Powell was. But there's about a one-third chance, maybe 35% chance that we'll get a rate hike, and about a 60+% chance that nothing will happen. So probably nothing happens. The AI tech sell-off is still happening. It is, whether we like it or not. And the Iran situation rages on, whether we like it or not, even expanding to other areas, such as not just the Strait of Hormuz, but other places as well. In fact, I read that Ukraine took out an Iranian commercial ship. So, yeah, the things are pretty tense out there. And so things have expanded a little bit. Earnings kind of mixed bag, and Google took a hit, Tesla took a hit. So there were some concerns about AI spending and when it's all going to start to turn into actual earnings. The claims number was great. The jobless claims number, though, much better than expected. So the economy is not really showing terrible signs yet, but keep an eye on it. That's going to be important going forward. So the SPY was down a little bit, and if you look at the RSP, the unweighted SPY, you can see that that was actually flat to tiny bit up. And so the broader, the most stocks are doing okay out there. It's just that the weighted ones, the big tech, the fatty stocks, are holding them back a little bit this week. Communications holding things back quite a bit. So the Russell, the small caps, soft this week. Q's soft this week. Gold and oil did okay, and Bitcoin may be showing some signs of life overall. Energy, utilities, and industrials were the strongest sectors, and they're not big sectors really. So that doesn't drive the SPY that very much. And the weakest were consumer and communications. And so if you look at over the last day, over the last week, over the last month, that tech is not leading this show, and that's pretty clear. So over the last month, it's energy, healthcare. Over the last week, it's energy, materials, utilities, and just be careful trading energy because if things do calm down and they manage to have another ceasefire, then that could cause prices to drop again. But you can see where the communications and the cyclical, the Teslas, the Amazons, the Googles, the Metas, all getting hammered last week badly, 17.8%. And Apple just sort of hanging in there ahead of its earnings. Some big semis doing okay, some computer hardware doing okay, but software had a terrible, terrible week, and most everything, just sort of okay, right? Sort of okay. So the broad market economy is still doing fine. The FOMC is not likely to change rates, but there is a possibility of an increase. The Iran situation is still dynamic, still in play, of course, and major focus on tech and AI earnings and guidance going forward. So look at the earnings coming up. We got Nucor, Visa, Coca-Cola, but look at the biggies. The midweek, the biggies are coming. Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon. Yeah, these are some big, big hitters. And then towards the end of the week, you get some of the big oil companies coming as well. So a little bit coming in really into a kind of a heavier earnings season, and that may capture some of the attention in addition to the Fed meeting. So the market feels a little heavy right now. And if we were to go ahead and just kind of look at the overall market situation. So if we look at the SPY, okay, not a lot is it's still kind of chopping in a range, but it's a little heavy. It's below its moving averages. Still has some support here. It's still stuck in this box, but it's heavy, but it's not wanting to crash. It's so that's I'm sorry, that's wrong. So I want QQQ. QQQ has broken below its this range though, so this is more cause for concern on the Qs. We could continue to see a little bit of a tech sell-off. This is a descending triangle. Now it may gather itself here a little bit too, right? I mean, it could rally back up to this trend line. I mean, anything can happen, but it just looks and feels like it's a little heavy. It wants to go down. It's just doing a lousy job of it. Okay, is kind of my take on things. And then here's the Russell. A little bit better. At least it's holding its 50 SMA, kind of. And then here is the RSP, which is la la la, it's like, hey, what's wrong, guys? I'm doing fine. And so we have our double diagonal spread on the RSP is profitable so far. Very interesting trade. So we have that going on. Okay, so that's just kind of an overview. Gold is still in a bear market. It popped up here and then came right back down. So gold pretty much in a bear market. Silver likewise. So the precious metals not doing great. And then here's our friend IBIT. So you can see Bitcoin, just is doing, looks like it may be hammering out a bottom here. But ever so gradual. I mean, so boring, and so it may be too boring for most people. I don't know. Nothing on Monday. Consumer confidence on Tuesday. No big deal. Everything's going to be about the Fed on Wednesday, but we still have some big pieces of information here. On Thursday, we got GDP core PCE, which is an inflation guideline that the Fed is known to have used quite a bit, and that's all in addition to the jobless claims, of course. So keep an eye on the economy, and keep an eye on whether or not, because if that goes south, then you have to start to really worry about the market. So no change in the sectors last week, and so healthcare XLF still pretty strong, and everything else just moderate, and nothing's horribly weak, right? Even tech is not horribly weak. Okay, so let's get rid of these stinking slides and find ourselves maybe a trade or two here somewhere. So let me bring back this, and I'd like to. I'm not going to go over the portfolio in detail. I don't think we need to. We don't have a lot. Well, let's take a look at it, I guess. Sure, why not? So if we look at what's in the portfolio right now, we've got an excellent trade on Bank of America. So this is a call. It's a horizontal spread, diagonal spread. Look, we got a fresh breakout here. So what we're going to want to do is we have a short that's a little bit in the money. We're going to want to roll that. And so and assuming it doesn't fall back in the range, we're going to want to roll that first thing on Monday. So just be aware of that. Baidu, another excellent trade. This one's bearish. So one bullish, one bearish, and we're got a little cash flow trade going on Baidu. We rolled that short down here. So that's a little bit out of danger. So we don't have to worry about that too much right now. RSP, the double diagonal, is right now the shorts expired worthless. So we get to sell more shorts for credit. And W Day is kind of a boing boing that didn't boing, so we sold a short against it. So that one's just kind of moderate to weak right now, but the others are all doing just fine. Even W Day, which isn't doing exactly what we want it to do, is pretty close to giving us a boing signal. So I think we're just going to play it as a diagonal for now and just play it by ear. So at least it's moving in the right direction. So those are the trades we have on. What I'm thinking about doing here, and I don't want to put on a lot of new trades ahead of the Fed here, but and then maybe we'll get together late in the week if I see some interesting trades, but after the Fed, right? But CAG Conagra brands kind of caught my eye here. And I like this as just a simple, don't ask me to do too much. One of those, I don't know, 14-15 or 14-16. Let's go 14-16 bull call spread. It does have an earnings coming up fairly soon. We'll go one day past the earnings, and if it looks good, we'll kill it ahead of the earnings. And if not, then we'll take a flyer through the earnings, right? So let's just go out to the end of the week and put on this one trade, and then we'll call it good. So I'm going to buy the 14 call, okay, and I'm going to sell the 16 call. No, that doesn't give me enough. That doesn't give me enough. I'm going to scrap that idea. Let's see. Do I have any other? I was looking at ABT. Let's look at ABT because I like the healthcare space. It may be something that doesn't have earnings coming up. So if ABT is on a fresh breakout, it's coming off of a low, it's past its earnings. So this might be a better trade for us. And I think maybe what we'll do is let's just buy a call, and then we'll see what we want to do after that. So let's buy a call on a breakout to start. And I like this nice safe space here, and we'll go out a little ways on this one. Let's go out to September on this one, and just buy a 100 call, 100 strike call. It's asking 680, but let's try to get a better feel near the mid price and confirm and send, and we'll wait to see if that fills. That's all I got for today. On behalf of Wealth Foundations Northwest, it has been my pleasure to have been your coach today. Good luck at trading, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.